Pisces, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is going to be your May 2024 reading. So if you're new to this channel, I want to welcome you. It's a brand new channel. I started in the end of December 2023. And if you're coming back, welcome back. So this month, we're going to be looking at your healing map. I want to really take a deep dive into what you need to heal this month. So let's look at, in the first row, I'm going to look at what situation you're sitting in. Is it a struggle? It is a decision you have to make. For some of us, it could be a pattern that's showing up in our life. And, you know, a relationship pattern with our intimate partner, friend, colleague at work. Something's going on here. And when I talk about patterns, I talk about things that are keep showing up, you know, and you're wondering, like, why are the same people in my space? Why am I attracting the same people? Or why this certain thing keeps happening to me? And then what I'm going to look at is, I want to look at in the second row, what is having an impact? Why is this situation coming up for you? In other words, what needs healing? What's coming up from your shadow? So we're going to be doing some shadow work. And if you're unfamiliar with those two terms, shadow and shadow work, I'm going to leave a video linked at the end of this video. And I'm also going to put it in my description box below. And it's a video I've done called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's all about facing your shadow. And it really gives you a good idea of where to begin. Because a lot of people don't really know how to do shadow work. They don't know how to get on this healing journey. They don't know how to do it. And so I've been on this healing journey intensively for my own complex trauma for the last 7 years, where I really took a deep dive into my own shadow and really understood what it really meant, what that term meant for me. So that's what we're going to do, because your shadow is what has the biggest impact on everything that you do. All your relationships, right? So we're going to see what's coming up for healing. And then I want to look at how can you heal this? How can you heal this that's coming up in your shadow? And finally, I want to look at what's important is, what's the outcome for you? Like, where is this going to take you now? Once you've done this healing, where are you going to go with this? What direction are you going to take? All right, so I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck today. I'm going to clarify it with mini Rider-Waite. And then I'm also going to be pulling a spirit animal for you from the spirit animal deck right here. And just to end that off. So let's begin right now. Tarot, I want to do this reading for Pisces. And can you give me 3 cards to start off with that is going to show me the situation that they're sitting in right now? All right, let's begin. So, 3 cards, please, for Pisces. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups as your first card that comes out. 2 more cards, please, for this situation. Oh, nicely done. 2 of them. The Devil card for you, a Major Arcana card. And the King of Pentacles sitting there at the end. Okay. What needs healing in this situation? What needs healing? 2 cards, please. Just 2 cards for Pisces. What needs healing here? Cards, please. Alright, I knew those wanted to fall out, but that's not what I wanted. Sometimes they come out easily. Alright, what needs healing here? 2 cards for Pisces. Okay, I'm going to take these first 2 that came out. This one came out first. It was the 8 of Wands. And then this one came out, which was the Magician card. Oh, interesting. We're going to talk about that because it's the second time the Magician is coming out here, because you have the Magician as your overriding energy for May, but I'll talk about that in a second before we get started. All right. What needs how can I heal this? How can you heal this? So how can Pisces heal this? 3 cards, please. How can Pisces heal this? 3 cards, please. We have the Queen of Wands. That's your first card. 3 of Pentacles. And 1 more. How can Pisces heal this? One more card, please. Ooh, that came out nicely. Page of Cups in reverse. And finally, what's the outcome for you, Pisces? Once we do some of this healing here, what outcome is here for you? Two cards. Well, this one wants to come out. The Lovers. And one more. I have to wet my finger just to get a... Oh, there it is. Okay, the Empress here in reverse. All right. So, Pisces, in December 2023, I put out yearly readings for all the signs at the end of the month. And in each reading, and I've linked that below, by the way, if you want to take a look at that. But in each reading, I have 12 cards for each month. And I pulled out your card for May that you got in your yearly reading. And it was the Magician in reverse. And that's why I'm saying it's coming out again here, which is interesting. So Major Arcana card number 1, the Magician. The Magician is the master of manifesting anything that they want in their life, right? And I have to be really careful with the word manifestation because a lot of people use that word loosely and kind of, portray manifesting as something that can happen like this. And it's so not true. However, the Magician comes out to remind us of something about ourselves and how we can manifest things for ourselves. But, there's a lot of healing sometimes that has to take place before we can. That's something that we want to happen in our lives. But the Magician will come out for a certain reason. And he's in reverse, but in an upright position. The Magician is someone that, if you notice, he has, first of all, he has this wand in his hand and he's holding it up to the universe. And it's like a magical wand, if you want. But it's a wand that he's going to act as this lightning rod. And he's going to hold it up and he's going to use the power of the universe, creator, source, God. And he's going to take that and he's going to ground that energy into the earth. He's not going to take that and hold it onto himself. It's going to come through him. And he's going to act as a lightning rod. It's going to be grounded into the earth. And he knows that he has all these 4 elements. He has the cups, the swords, the wands, and the pentacles sitting on him, this table in front of him. And so that's all at his disposal. He has everything he needs to make a decision for himself, to make something come into reality. And this is a reminder, and it's going to come up again here for you. It's coming in line number 2, what needs healing. This is a reminder that you have everything in you to make your own decisions. And when I first started out on my own healing journey, my own therapist told me 7 years ago that I had, because there are times when I really wanted my own therapist to make the decisions for me. I wanted someone to tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. And she turned around and she said, you have all the answers in you. And that is the last thing that I wanted to hear. I wanted someone to make decisions for me. And so this magician comes here and says, you know, you have your own inner guidance. You have the own power in you to make your own decisions. But it came in reverse here. And so that means for you, the overriding energy here for May is that you have your own inner guidance. You have the power in you to do this. But it's blocked, or there's a real resistance to believing it, right? So let's just put the magician away for now, because he's going to come up again. So there's a resistance here to believing that you have this power in you. And I don't know what this means. We're going to find out though. So what situation are you sitting with? Well, you start off with this beautiful Ten of Cups here. The Ten of Cups is the last card in the pip, you know, the pip cups, which are number 1 to 10. And so when we get to finally the 10 here, and cups is all about emotions. And so when we get to the 10 of Cups, or when it comes up for us, it tells us that we have this whole range of emotions that are available to us. All our emotions. But a lot of us take certain ones of them and we repress them, or we shove them down because we don't want to feel them, because sometimes they're painful, right? But there's a reminder here. You're sitting with this reminder to start off with that says you have all this full range of emotions. And emotions are meant to flow in and they're meant to flow out. They're not supposed to get stuck. You know, we're not supposed to get stuck on emotion and sit in depression for a long time, or sit in anxiety for a long time, or sit in our anger for a long time. They're meant to be felt, and they're meant to flow out of us. A lot of us think that we've been dealt this hand of depression for, you know, forever, and it's not true. I know, because I felt like I had it dealt to me as well. But when it comes up, we deal with it. We feel it. And then, you know, we process it and it goes. And so this is what's coming up here, is that you have these 10 emotions that are wanting to be felt. All these emotions are wanting to be felt for you. But you have the devil sitting behind it. You have the devil sitting behind it, which is really interesting. That comes in behind, because, you know, tarot is telling you, the universe is saying, here's all these emotions for you to feel. And the devil is the attachment card. I associate him with addictions, right? Now, why do we have addictions? First of all, we all know everybody has addictions, or an addictions, because we're just human and we don't want to feel. And so what do is we grab onto something. It could be something as simple as, and I'm going to say this is probably the number one addiction that's going on right now, is our phone. And I'm guilty of it too. When I'm dealing with something, when there's something that's really painful that's coming up for me, and if I find myself scrolling, I know that I'm numbing out. I know I'm numbing out. I'm quite aware of it. And so we're all aware of our addictions. And Pisces, I'm sure you're aware of your addictions as well. And we have addictions to numb out these emotions that we're meant to feel. And so I'm seeing here that because it's come out, I'm seeing here that it's time for you, and maybe you're quite aware of it, to start to look at, bring awareness to your addictions. You will never hear me say you got to stop this addiction. And this is what I've learned from my own therapy as well, because my biggest addiction, besides others, but this is my main one, and we all kind of have one that we go to, was eating. And it still is. I still battle with my overeating, but through healing a lot of my own complex trauma, it's been one that has kind of dissipated. It's not as strong anymore for me, and so this is time for you to bring awareness. Start to bring awareness to how you are numbing your emotions. Really start to realize that, you know I have this addiction or addictions, and and I'm using it to numb out my emotions. And it's time that you start to bring awareness to it, because it's coming up for you right now. There's a pattern here that you use an addiction to numb out your emotions. And the King of Pentacles is coming up right after it. And the King in my deck, all the kings, represent for me the masculine side of us. We have a feminine side and we have a masculine side. All of us, whether it doesn't matter what gender you are. The masculine side is our ego. It's our ego. And our ego can keep us in our head. You know, it makes us believe certain things. And I see here that your ego is really out. You're really living in your head. So there's certain probably belief systems. There's certain issues that you have. And you're keeping yourself in your head because it's safe in your head. Because our emotions are in our body. And most of us live up in our head where our ego is. It's safe there. And we don't want to go back into our body because we're going to have to feel certain things. And so I'm seeing here that you're sitting in a position, like I said, that you're very much numbing out. You're numbing your emotions with whatever addictions you're dealing with. And you're living up in your head. And your ego is kind of saying, you know, the King of Pentacles is definitely, the pentacle is all about this body, your body. The pentacle is the body. And in a really grounded state, the king our ego would be open to feeling our emotions, you know, would be open to getting back into our body to start to feel some of these things. And so this is where you're sitting right now, where you're really up in your head, numbing yourself out with some addictions. So what needs to heal in order for you to start to deal with some of these emotions, you know, starting to feel? What needs to heal here? Well, there's something here that in your Eight of Wands that comes up for you in your shadow. And the Eight of Wands is, Wands, first of all, let's look at the Wand suit. The Wand suit is all about creativity, and when I say creativity, I don't mean going out and learning how to paint, or which I've done, or I mean like taking your life into the direction that you want to go in. Where do you think you're meant to be? What do you think is your purpose here? Like, what is it that you really want to do? And these wands here, it's like someone has taken them and just thrown them up in the air. But notice how parallel they are to each other, because they have a direct route that they're going to take here to get you to. And so in your shadow, there's very much I see, because what people don't realize about your shadow is these are the things that you've repressed over the years, that you've put away. People have told you certain things about yourself that maybe you're ashamed of, and you've put them away, you've buried them. We don't know what's in our shadow because it lives in our unconscious. But what I'm seeing is coming up in your shadow is that there's a side to you that's very creative. There's something in there that it tells me, because what we can have in our shadow are good things. We can have gifts in there, things that we were meant to do. Maybe when we were younger, we were discouraged from doing certain things. So I'm seeing here that there's a direction that the universe wants to take you. There's a real creative direction, purposeful direction that the universe wants to take you, that's sitting in your shadow, that maybe you don't even know what it is. Maybe you have a hunch. And the Magician, we talked about the Magician a lot. He comes up right here, right behind it in your shadow. And he's saying, you have everything at your disposal to get at what these beautiful gifts are, what this beautiful creative purpose is sitting in your shadow, which is beautiful. And if you're sitting here going like, what are you talking about? What the hell are you saying? There's gifts in our shadow. I'm going to be honest with you. I never, ever thought that I would be a tarot reader, ever. But as I started working through things in my shadow, and I have a video, actually, it's my opening video on this channel if you want to go have a look at it. But it talked about how I became a tarot reader. I bought this deck that I'm using right now. I bought it probably about, I don't know how many years ago I bought it. Quite a number of years ago. And because I started listening to tarot. And I thought, I want to be a tarot reader. And I just chucked it and threw it in the drawer because I just never got back to it. And anyway, there's a big story around how I became a tarot reader. But it was something that was hidden in my shadow. It was one of the gifts that came out as I started working through my own stuff and my emotions and my own trauma. And I realized that I want to be a tarot reader because I'm a retired teacher. I never, ever thought I would do this. But for you, I'm seeing the same thing here where there's something hidden in your shadow that you're creative, a creative purpose, something that you're meant to do here. Could be small, could be big, but it's kind of being covered up by what you're dealing with right now is your emotions that are being blocked from your addictions, right? And it's also blocking what's coming up, what wants to come up in your shadow. So how do you heal this? What do you have to do? Well, the Queen of Wands, I don't make up these cards when they come up. The Queen of Wands comes up here. The Queen is our feminine aspect, right? We met the King of Pentacles, which was our ego. That's telling you this is all bullshit probably, and don't get back into your body because you don't want to feel. But the Queen of Wands comes up now, and she's the queen. She's the feminine aspect to ourselves. She's very much about getting back into your body. And she's particularly, because she's the Queen of Wands, she's very, very much about authenticity, creativity, finding out who you are, getting back to your true purpose. And that's what the Wands are all about. They're very much a suit that is about movement. They're always getting into trouble, by the way, because they're about movement and taking your life in the new direction and doing what you want to do. And she comes here and she says, well, how can you heal this? Well, this is about getting back into your body, learning how to ground yourself, getting out of your head where your ego is. And let's get back into your body and start to feel some of this stuff, because she's about taking your life into a new direction, which is quite exciting, actually. Now, right behind that comes the Three of Pentacles. And the Pentacles, again, is about, your workspace. It's about your health. It's your body. It's about getting grounded, right? And the Three in particular is a card of co-creation. You have these three individuals here that are working together to do some improvements on this building. And so for me, when this comes up in my healing channel, when this comes up in my own tarot, it means it's time here that, maybe you need some help getting back in touch with yourself. Maybe you need some help with your addiction. And this is a card of maybe you need to get back into therapy. Maybe you've had therapy before and you've sworn that you will never get back into it again. I've been there. And maybe you've been in and out, in and out. Maybe you're out and you want to get, it's time to get into therapy. Maybe it's time to find a new one if you've been with one for a while and you're just not getting where you want to get to. I had a lot of trouble finding the therapist, that I really needed to get me to where I needed to go. And so this is a therapy card. This is saying, maybe you've never tried it before. Maybe it's time, because sometimes we need help. We need help on this journey. It's hard to do it alone. It really is, because the problem why it's hard to do it alone is because our ego, King of Pentacles here, he can come in and he can really spin our mind around, right? And sometimes that's why we need another objective person in our life to help us with this. How can I heal this? And the last card you get here is, well, you're being asked to get back into your body, and you're being asked to start to feel, because the part of you that is holding a lot of these emotions that need to heal is our little Page of Cups here that comes in. So how can I heal this? Well, pages in my deck are our inner children. And in particular, the Page of Cups is probably the strongest inner child we have, because the Page of Cups is what I call my little love seeker. It's the one that is looking for love that they didn't get when they were a child. And that's the kind of inner child that's we're going to start to really get into our addictions to push down those emotions that our inner child needs to feel, because of when they were younger, things they were told, right? And they're looking for that love they didn't get because it's really blocked right now. Really blocked because it's in reverse. And so I can see how, these emotions that are coming up for you right now that you're needing to feel, like the inner child, the one that our love seeker, the Page of Cups, that particular inner child holds a lot of our grief, can hold a lot of anger, emotions like shame too that will come out, but mostly grief. A lot of grieving that needs to take place here. I'm seeing, and so there's a lot of healing that needs to be done with your inner child that is wanting to get that love. And that particular one gets us into a lot of trouble with our relationships. And so that's why this therapy card's coming out, because I think you need some help with getting at your inner child and finding out what they want to tell you. They need to be listened to. They want to be loved. They need to be listened to. They want to be heard. And the only person that can do that is you, to heal. And so what are you going to get when you start to, what are you going to get out of this once you start to get in touch, get back into therapy, get some help, and get in touch with those emotions that your inner child wants to share with you? The Lover's card comes out for you. Now, this is a card of an intimate relationship. And a lot of people think that, there's going to be, if I could only find that one person out there, if I could only find that one person out there that can love me in the way that I could never be loved, that I was never loved. That one savior that will come, that knight in shining armor that's going to come out and just going to help me, save me. And the only person that's going to do that for you, and I learned the hard way, and believe me, it was very painful to accept this, is that the only person that's going to do it is yourself. And so the outcome that's going to come here is once you start getting in touch with your inner child, you're going to start to build a very intimate relationship with you. Not with someone else, but with you. You're going to learn about your feminine side. You're going to learn about the masculine side of you. And especially the feminine one that's been buried for so long and has these beautiful, beautiful the aspects of it, like getting in touch with our emotions, getting back into our body and grounding and feeling again, feeling of all those emotions we needed to feel when we were younger and we couldn't because they were big. They were too big, these emotions for us. But it's time now for you to start to begin to build that relationship with yourself and become vulnerable and intimate with yourself. And I was supposed to pull a third card up here and I didn't. So I could go back to that, but we'll see. I think I'm okay with it right now. And then finally, the Empress card comes out behind the Lovers. The Empress card is a feminine card again. It is the second card in the major arcana. She's upside down here. But the Empress is a beautiful card to come out, and she is in the major arcana. The feminine part is divided into two. She's divided into number 2, which is the High Priestess card, which is our feminine characteristic of intuition, which everybody has, our inner guidance. And she's also divided into the feminine aspect is the Empress, which is number 3. And the Empress loves the body. She loves living from the body. She loves experiencing the body. She experiences all her emotions. All these emotions right here. She allows them to flow freely through her body. And she's in reverse right now because we know that there's already a blockage here. So what's going to happen is once you start to, get some therapy, get back into your body, learn how to get back into your body, learn how to start to feel and, and start living from your emotions again. That's the outcome that's going to come for you. I am going to pull another card because I'm feeling kind of bad here that I skipped that third row here. So let's, no, I didn't skip it. It's the Page of Cups. He just fell over here. I'm good. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. He fell over here, so I didn't see him. Don't forget about him. That Page of Cups is so important to heal. Really, it's when we can start to heal that young part of us that holds a lot of our grief, from our childhood and things we didn't get. And that's why we get caught up in our addictions, because we push down a lot of our grief and a lot of those emotions that the younger part of us wants to feel. So this is a beautiful reading for you, Pisces. I hope you get the help that you need so that you can start to feel some of these emotions. And as you do start to feel, you'll find that your addictions are kind of going to release on their own. They won't have the hold on you that they did before. And that's what I found out about addictions. So let me pull a card for you. This one wanted to kind of come out here. The Badger Spirit, number 4. It was kind of stuck to my finger and I just let it fall. The Badger Spirit says, be fearless and bold. Be fearless and bold. Badger Spirit rejoices at your persistence and commitment to what is true for you. Whatever you seek, your tenacity and faith in your partnership with Spirit is paying off, and the results will soon coalesce into form. The gift of Badger Spirit is the surety that taking a risk now and being courageous, fearless, and bold will yield wondrous results. This is a time to harness your will and apply it consistently to the pursuit of dreams. You will manifest your desires in divine timing and in the form that Spirit deems best for you. Badger Spirit says you have what it takes to get what you want, and that's Magician. You have what it takes to get what you want. That is the Magician that's come up for you twice here. Badger Spirits, just said that. Be fearless and be bold as your purpose calls you. Oh my God, purpose. We talked about those 8 of Wands, right? Your purpose that's sitting in your shadow. New relationships are also given a green light now. Don't be afraid to make the first move. Badger Spirit loves your brave and mighty heart. I think the new relationship that you need to form in here is not somebody that's going to come and help you as far as your love seeker. It's going to come and save you. But the new relationship that's coming in here will be that new person that you choose to invite into your life, a therapist that's going to help you finally get to these emotions that you need to get to. Take care, Pisces, and I'll talk to you soon.